missing daughters, missing mothers, grandmothers, nieces. We have young women that's been missing for days, months, weeks, some years, and nobody cares.
There are a lot of non-tribal members are getting away with murder, with rape, with violence, with all sorts of assaults, and they're falling into this gray area where they're not being prosecuted.
It makes it hard to figure out who's in leader or who's in charge, and then in some areas there's just no interest at all.
1/3 of all Native women will experience sexual assaults, and on some Native homelands that number can be twice as high as that. Native women are 2.5 times more likely to experience sexual violence than non-Native women. 80% of all sexual assault cases are committed by non-Native men. 80% of all Native women will be violently assaulted in some way during their lifetime. Native communities are severely limited in their tribal jurisdictions to prosecute cases in which non-Native offenders are committing these types of crimes on Native homelands. In 1885, sovereignty was taken away. Native nations no longer had the ability to prosecute offenders who committed crimes on their homelands, and that the federal government would now be prosecuting those cases. In 80% of all sexual assault cases, the federal prosecutors decline to prosecute the case. There is a sense among Native people that this issue has become somewhat hopeless, and that's why we're here fighting for this today. There's a sense that if a Native woman experiences sexual assault, the chance of her attacker actually coming to justice and being sentenced to prison time for their crime is slim to none. Our families have said to their young women and daughters who've experienced this, you may not want to report this because nothing's going to happen anyways. What's going to happen is you're going to go through hours of examinations and interviews, you're going to talk to police, and then nothing's going to happen. Once they're victimized twice, that apathy then even gives perpetrators even more of a license to view Native homelands as hunting grounds. Like, this is a safe place to come to rape or assault people and get away with it.
It is important to talk about the interconnection of racism, white supremacy, cultural genocide, historical trauma, ongoing trauma within systems that are meant to support us but really have broken apart our families. And so I think the important thing to remember too is that we're still here, we're still strong, we have resiliency. We want to bring awareness to the issues that are happening in our communities so that it doesn't happen to another family.